Well, welcome back. We're going to continue now looking at the integrated design charrette. And here we're going to be looking at the characteristics. And we're going to start with the first one, which is speed. We have to work really quickly, about 100 times more quickly than you would generally work. And the idea is to generate as many ideas as possible. They could be bad ideas, and that's okay. We get caught up in coming up with the perfect design scheme every time we draw, and that is the exact opposite of what we should be doing. We need to use our quick, intuitive responses to generate thousands of ideas in a very short amount of time. Yes, I said thousands, but I meant hundreds. And part of the thing that inhibits us in a design charrette is this idea of self-editing. We're worried about what people might think of our ideas. And so when we run charrettes, when I run them, I really get people over that pretty quickly. Knowing that all of those bad ideas will be vetted, and I put that in quotes later, I'm going to show you that process, will be vetted as a way to understand which ideas are going to rise to the top and which are not. Second characteristic is inclusivity. You've heard this word before. We're looking at equity. We're looking at giving people a voice in the process. This is really important. I've been on charrettes where there is no sense of equity, where yes, we're doing a charrette, but we're not really listening. And so a really good professional charrette facilitator knows how to listen and bring everybody to the table. And speaking of come to the table, everybody's coming with different values and expectations. What we want to do is try to create a space where we can have contradictory values and expectations and create a way, a process by which we can build consensus towards a decision that will lead to, say, I don't know, the location of a building on a site or location of a parking lot on a site, you name it. We need to do that collaboratively and with inclusivity. Third one is alignment. We need to build alignment towards a common goal. And so those values that are so different when people arrive to the charrette, our job as facilitators is to bring alignment of those. And we do that through the use of guiding principles, which I'll talk about later, and really trying to get a sense of what the clarity of the purpose is. So I showed you this diagram before, and you'll see again that the spaghetti there is really twisted as they come into the project. Everybody's all twisted and they're apprehensive. And as they come through the process, everything tends to straighten out. And I'll move on to the next because we covered that already. Number 4, early engagement. So the idea here is to early engagement. Get feedback into the process early before final decisions are made. Sorry for the typo. And we're going to use Bill Reed's 4 E's of sustainable design, which I think are brilliant, clear, and to the point. First one is everyone. Second one is engaging. Third is everything. And fourth is early. Everyone, engaging, everything, early. This is really, really difficult to do and actually can be very chaotic and seem like it could be, well, a beautiful mess, to be honest with you. But what I found in the 20 years of using this process is out of that beautiful mess comes some really profound design ideas that also have the buy-in from, say, neighbors, end users, and others. That's really critical because they got in early. They saw the process. And this is very similar to the McLeamy curve that we showed before. Early engagement means that the value engineering will happen during the design charrette. In the first week of the design project, when drawings are first made, we're starting the early value engineering process. We're not waiting to the end to change the design. Fifth characteristic is, of course, spirit of cooperation. And without that, we really have nothing. And again, I like to thank Revision Architecture for these pictures. This is a charrette that I got to co-facilitate a few years ago, and I'll talk more about that. The charrette environment is one of cooperation. The barriers between the disciplines should disappear as the focus of design is the goal rather than expression of ego and control. Now, I have to be honest with you, everybody still tries to win the charrette. All the designers try to show off and show off that they're the best, but really in the spirit of solving the problem. It's pretty amazing. So some of the things that you should expect in a design charrette: transparency, very hard for people. Open source, meaning groups can steal ideas from other groups. It starts off really, really slow, and it seems like we're going nowhere. There's definitely going to be chaos. Your teams are going to shift. You're not always going to be on the same team. Some of the do's and don'ts of charrettes is don't try to dominate your group. This is a real problem. But also don't not participate. We have people that just sit there quietly and don't offer their thoughts. Facilitators who are at each table and in the room have the trump card to move the process along. And there are no bad ideas. The word bad and no should not exist early in the charrette. Got that already. Interrupting is forbidden because when you interrupt, you show disrespect for the other people, and it kind of slows down the process, so it's not good. And then, of course, try not to be too results-oriented until later in the charrette when we can get to that point. Make eye contact. A lot of people will not make eye contact with people they don't like. That doesn't really help. So that was a whirlwind tour of some of the characteristics of the integrated design charrette, and there's a typo there, sorry about that. Next up, we're going to get into more strategies of how these charrettes are run, and eventually I'm going to show you a case study of a charrette that I facilitated a few years back. So I look forward to that, and I look forward to seeing you at the next video.